When we think of Shakespeare's greatest works, we think of the classic tragedy of Romeo and Juliet, or the comedic whimsical adventure of A Midsummer Night's Dream. That's it, that's all he wrote. We may never actually know how many plays Shakespeare wrote, as the 38 that we have today are merely survivors of a likely massive collection. Well, today I have a major world secret to reveal to you that may shock you, because I found one of these missing works, and the craziest part is, it's got 8 seasons.
What if I told you Bar Rescue is completely Shakespearean? Act 1, person in trouble. Act 2, resists change. Act 3, starts to transform. Act 4, redeems themselves. Act 5, happy ending. It's as Shakespearean as it gets.
Well, he got one thing right. A Shakespearean play does typically have 5 acts. But like, come on, bro. Happy ending where you absolutely cheesed and goofed at the end of Romeo and Juliet? I think Jon, in many ways, is taking a massive reach on his statements here, so I want to test him today. I'm gonna sit my ass down, and I'm gonna watch his little piece of theater, and you guys are gonna join me, okay? Just don't buy the merch at intermission. That shit's expensive, okay? Oh, shit, it's starting. Here we go.
Black Canyon City, Arizona lies 46 miles north of Phoenix. With a median age of 47, its residents average only $19,000 in individual income. 83% of local business comes from I-17.
Okay, so as you guys can see, today's episode brings us to a highway town. So immediately you're probably thinking, who cares? If your whole market is people from the highway and massively underpaid workers over the age of 45, people aren't coming for the experience, they're coming for the escape. Anyway, soon as Jon hears about this place, he slams a beer, kisses his wife, and goes screaming down the highway into the night. And you know this episode's about to be a classic, because tonight it's a classic Jon and Russell adventure, baby.
I don't see anything, do you?
A half a mile from the exit, I haven't seen one sign.
People would stop and get some food if they knew they could stop.
So they're pretty freaked out, and I would be too. Whenever I drive alone at night, I always convince myself that there's someone in the backseat waiting to kill me. And don't tell me you can't relate to that. I know there's someone out there who does. They get so freaked out that Jon goes as far as suggesting that they could get killed by people hiding in the bushes.
Pretty scary looking place.
Look at the bushes over there. I mean, somebody could be hiding in those bushes, Russell. You jump out of your car, they'll kill you. I mean, there's no women would come here, ever.
You guys think he had the crew check the bushes before he got out of the car like monsters under the bed?
Hey, Mr. Taffer, come on, we gotta head in. There's a fight going on inside. No, you didn't check the bushes. Russell, lock the door.
Oh, by the way, for all of you first-time viewers, Russell Davis is a professional mixologist that helps Jon out on the show from time to time. He's kind of like the Bucky Barnes of the BRCU, you know? He's always there to be a sidekick to Jon, but when the time comes for him to take command, you know, he's just as powerful.
Jon has brought 10-year veteran mixologist Russell Davis, Nightclub and Bar's 2012 Bartender of the Year.
And Russell's guest intro has got to be my favorite on the entire show, because this guy's so goddamn intense for no reason. Specifically, this shot of him filling the jigger like his life depends on it, it drives me insane, dude. But I'm glad Jon's looking out for the ladies, and by looking out, I mean watching their every move in the bar for the past 3 days, because Jon has been surveilling the bar for the past 3 days.
As a professional, you are not going to believe what you're about to see. Watch this.
What if you just started gaming? Wouldn't that be funny?
I think that'd be so epic if Jon and Russell forgot to do the episode because they were playing Clash of Clans or watching Kai Cenat. I don't know, was that good? All right, so here's the main character breakdown. We got Scott and Donna, those are the owners, and then we have their daughter, Aaliyah, who was actually the one to call Jon in.
But here's the kicker, Russell. They're driving a motorcycle in an enclosed space with food around it with carbon monoxide. That engine is running.
I mean, truly, there's really nothing I have to say about this. The insanity speaks for itself. But I can't help but think, right? What is so entertaining about bringing a motorcycle inside? Is that not just proof of how dumb we as humans are? Is bringing something inside that belongs outside like our Achilles heel? It's the same reason that we stare at that car that they put in the middle of the mall that no one ever wins, you know? Only difference is the added risk of death.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
This is going to be a rough one, man.
Now, that bit was a little unusual. Usually the show just tops right into the recon section, but that was like a pre-recorded bit, so I guess it was sort of like pre-con. Sorry, I just wanted to give you a little time to discuss that joke with a partner. So now we're actually in the recon section. They give us a good look at the absolutely massive floor plan of the establishment. And as usual, Jon sends in the sorest thumb he possibly can.
I got us some tourist who's going to go in and sit at the bar.
What do you mean you got a tourist? Like, where?
You think Jon was just camped outside the restaurant for the past 3 days, profiling people for the job?
Hey, come here, sweetheart. You an actress?
They immediately start this drink counter for Donna, and you know, after you watch this much bar rescue, you realize that pretty much all of these bars have at least one drunk employee, if not more. The sad thing is, you'd think it would get super repetitive, but what you actually learn is that everyone's alcoholism looks very different, which is super depressing. But these guys fucking love it. Look at that. We then learn that this bar loves to pour shots. It's their favorite game.
Look at this pour. Every time she uses one of those cups, she's pouring like 2 to 3 ounces.
That's almost a full bottle of alcohol.
Okay, hold on. Look, I gotta call them out here, though, because clearly no one's coming to this place looking for a properly poured shot. If anything, they're clenching their ass cheeks just waiting for the bartender to overserve.
How uncomfortable she looks.
Yeah, man, of course she's uncomfortable. Yes, given that this is a highway spot, literally any type of person could come through that door. But be honest with me here, man. How often does someone come through that door looking like the fucking Queen of England? If people doing shots in a bar was her breaking point, I think you've already found an error in your data.
Want to talk dirty to me?
No, I can think of something else we can go do in the back somewhere.
All right. The decoy orders barbecue chicken. Meanwhile, we're introduced to this waitress who is pretty much just D from It's Always Sunny. Like, I can't think of a better comparison.
Turn me sideways, bend me like a pretzel. I feel like my vagina is a pretzel. I gotta get a cigarette. Are you in a bad mood, Aaliyah?
If you could guess her name in 3 guesses, I would literally give you $1 million because her name is Yum Yum and she fucking sucks.
That bartender's name is Yum Yum.
And I can already tell this is going to be an issue for John because he notoriously hates anything creative or zany. He's like the priest dad from Footloose, but for alcoholics. This is the same guy who turned a pirate cosplay bar into a restaurant called Corporate Bar and Grill. He might straight up kill her. Well, we'll just have to see what happens because Donna's already on drink number 10 and it's 9 p.m. Not only that, over in the kitchen, they're absolutely abusing this chicken by waterboarding it in barbecue sauce. It's essentially not even barbecue. When they put the food down in front of her, she pulls like the Squidward move, you know, where like the Krabby Patty, it turns into like rubber. And then this old lady next to her is just like,
We ate dinner here last night and I had to do the same thing. I had to sit it back and get something else.
so why the hell are you back for a second night in a row? Right? Is that not like a bizarrely confusing thing to throw into the episode? Like now I want to know her story. Is that just what happens when you get old? Do you just get so complacent that you value a night of bad service? Donna offers to get the decoy a shot because she didn't like her food, but she doesn't want that, and Donna is pissed drunk. Like, it's actually just really uncomfortable to watch.
I really just wanted to sit down, maybe have a glass of water, not really a hard liquor drink.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is this a joke? Why would you agree to do this show if you're just looking to have a refreshing glass of water? It's a Wild West bar. At the very best, you're getting a replica tumbleweed. This episode is leaving me with so many unanswered questions. Like, this woman has way too much personality and flavor to just be a tourist. Who is she? And I mean, don't even get me started on the old lady again. Clearly, she's stuck in some kind of FNAF-esque simulation game where you have to go to the same shitty bar for the rest of your life. Five Nights at Freddy's, more like every night across the street from the Econo Lodge.
What happened? Holy.
Oh my god! Are you fucking kidding me, man? Why are they so obsessed with riding things into the bar? It's just not that cool. They're like cavemen to fire. I do have to give it to them, though. They did sort of solve the issue of the carbon monoxide. By the way, this has nothing to do with the bar staff. This is literally just some random-ass dude riding his horse into the bar. All context removed. That's fucking hard rock. And okay, though, I do feel really bad for the horse, though. That was kind of, like, weirdly scary to watch. The horse could have gotten very hurt. But at least he got an opportunity to leave a big fuck you on the floor before leaving. Look, John loves it.
Oh, he crapped on the floor! No!
This experience is so jarring to John and Russell that they literally have to take a moment to breathe and debrief.
We just saw a horse crap on the floor in a bar. I'm going in. I gotta go to work, man. I'll see you inside later.
Good luck, John.
Unfortunately, John is winning so far because our person in trouble here is very clear to see. However, I believe he got lucky because the first 10 minutes of this episode were so bizarre that I think I'm going blind. Sorry, I did that in the wrong direction.
A horse took a crap in the middle of this bar tonight, and they didn't even clean it up.
Yeah, they didn't even clean it up and I had to eat it. Please cut the camera, man.
Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Good to meet you.
You look as good in all of your pictures as you have as in all of your
Thank you.
Your shows.
You seem so intoxicated. I'm surprised you know even who the hell I am, to be honest with you.
Fucking asshole. Now, this is truly embarrassing, man. I mean, it's one thing to have Jon pull up to your shit show in the middle of the work night, but to be blackout drunk is, like, humiliating. Things become even more abysmal when Jon takes the family into the back to have a chat.
Hi, Jon.
Can you
Nice
see
to
me?
meet you.
Can you even see me?
Yeah,
Am I in focus?
You're in focus.
You're in focus? Okay, sit down if you can.
So he sits them down and he's like, okay, guys, let's just give this a try. He opens the floor and basically just wants to know how they got to such a low point. For reference, they're only about $180,000 in debt, which in comparison to past bars is measly, so this is certainly salvageable. Remember though, Jon states that in Act 2 of his masterpiece, the characters resist change. Well, I don't know if that applies here because they don't know where they are. When Aaliyah starts telling the story, she immediately gets cut off by Scott, who at this point is barely speaking English, and Jon is pretty annoyed. In fact, the big problem with this discussion is that they're so blacked out that Jon can't even properly communicate with them.
You guys are really gonna do this?
I will.
Yes.
Listen to me.
And you can tell me shut up and I will listen.
Thank you.
So obviously, the solution to this situation is yelling, because there's nothing that Jon hates more than when people who drink get drunk.
Don't talk.
I will listen to you.
Don't talk. What happened
try.
was...
This situation is actually the worst. I mean, they're alcoholics, their daughter is miserable, this conversation is useless. Finally, Aaliyah gets the chance to speak though, and she tells Jon that they failed to pay their property taxes, therefore the bank is foreclosing on them. It would seem that unfortunately, the biggest problem here then is the screaming alcoholism. So new rule, no more drinking.
You guys have one drink? I walk out of here.
Gulp.
Please! Don't make me take care of my daughter!
Well, Jon got Act 2 quite wrong, because they didn't resist change, they begged for it.
And I have fought to get you here, to have you save my business.
But Scott, listen to me.
Only you can. I want you to teach me how.
But now everyone needs to get a good night of rest, because tomorrow, Jon's gonna sit them all down and get them into shape. Supposedly, we have entered Act 3, where they will start to transform. And I think that's a bit of a cop-out, because that's super general. Like, what if they transform in a bad way? How are they then supposed to move on to Act 4 and redeem themselves? See, Jon, your system's a little broken here.
Scott, we had a pretty good talk before, didn't you think?
I do not remember meeting Jon last night.
Oh my God. Really sucks that she doesn't remember it though, because Jon was slinging those one-liners.
Shut up!
Anyway, Jon lines everyone up for a chat, and hold on, are we missing someone?
Aren't we missing somebody? Where is Yum Yum? We have a no-show. So we got a problem with Yum Yum right from the get-go.
See, guys, I told you, this is not gonna end well for Yum Yum. Honestly, it's kind of funny, you know? It feels like she just kind of came in, played a character, and then left. Now Jon is introducing his helpers for the episode like he's a dad that's really proud of his sons.
This guy right here, this is Russell Davis. Russell won Bartender of the Year last year. He's a superstar.
Oh, by the way, I didn't talk about this earlier, but with Russell's character card, I love the little, like,
Russell Davis.
that he does. I don't know if I did that right. The chef that they'll be working with is this guy, J.B. Brown. And I'm so happy because Jon finally got someone who looks like they should be making bar food. He's awesome. I love how dense he is. You know, he looks like a cartoon character when he's cooking. Now, this bar is pretty filthy, okay? Russell goes into their ice machine and he grabs out this wad of gunk.
Oh, wow.
See that?
Yeah.
What is that?
Imagine. So they have to spend some time cleaning the place up. In the meantime, JB is in the kitchen teaching the chefs of the barbecue joint how to actually cook barbecue. Yeah, I don't think I even mentioned this in the beginning, but the place is called Kid Chalene's Badass Barbecue, and these guys weren't even doing that. They were just dipping everything they cooked in barbecue sauce. Dude, remember when people were dipping mangoes in the ocean? Why was that happening? Anyway, he teaches them how to make a rub, which apparently they've never had before.
We didn't have nothing like this before.
And that's kind of it. So, I hope that goes well.
Woo!
Okay. You guys, unfortunately, do not pour correctly with your cakes.
Dude, that's insane. Anyway, guys, you are fucking awful. Then he teaches them about hitting the meniscus when measuring a drink. As usual, we get an overly detailed visual description. And this guy is obsessed with the meniscus. I'm pretty sure he says it like 3 or 4 times within the span of a minute.
What we're also going to want to work in is hitting the meniscus. The meniscus, hit the meniscus, meniscus.
The final piece of training they receive is just Jon yelling at them about how their menu sucks, and then the day is over. So all they learned to do today was make a rub, make a whiskey sour, and get yelled at.
No more drinking.
We will not drink.
Did you drink today?
Nope.
Promise?
Promise.
Oh my God! That's gotta be one of Jon's coldest moves of all time. No, sorry, genuinely, that is an insane thing to do. Jon has been so ruined by this show that his trust issues are through the roof. But I suppose this is going to help us with our Act 3. Will they transform? Will they anamorph into not being alcoholic?
Blow it till it beeps. Okay. And your reading is?
Zero.
Yup, congrats guys.
Awesome.
This is, it's such a sad celebration. Surprise, surprise, Scott also blows a 0, so we can move on to the stress test, which also means we're moving on to what Jon considers to kind of be like a combination of Act 4 and 5. They need to redeem themselves and have a happy ending, which again, it's kind of BS, you know? It's either they succeed or they don't. Anyway, while they're getting ready for the stress test, Yum Yum finally comes back, and instead of yelling at her, Jon's just like,
I'm gonna ask Russell to give you a quick 5-minute lesson on these drinks, okay? And we'll see what kind of bartender you are.
so that's great, but listen to the crowd that Jon describes for tonight's stress test.
This is our stress test tonight, so here's what I've done. I'm gonna pack this place. It's about half locals and about half tourists from the highway.
How do you do that? Actually, how? Like, I was making a joke about it at the beginning, but now I'm genuinely starting to think that he had the production team on the side of the highway, just like flagging people down.
Hey, do you guys watch Bob Rescue? Hey, do you know who I am? I'm Jon Taffer.
So they're off to the races, and the night has begun. Why is Scott shaking people's hands? Oh, by the way, this next part is my favorite clip in the episode.
Just one. Okay, guys, it's coming, so get ready.
Got it.
We're gonna get nailed in just a few minutes.
Guys, we're gonna get fucked. Are you ready?
Aaliyah's doing a great job behind the bar, but Yum Yum is deplorable. You know, we kind of just get to watch Russell bully her for a couple minutes.
If you were here, you would have
Yeah,
known.
I got it.
Always glass to the back. Glass to the back, 10 to the front. Don't ever do that.
And this part I can only describe by showing you, because the editing of the show does this thing where they try to simulate this cinematic panic attack for Yum Yum. And honestly, I gotta give it to this episode, okay? It may not technically be Shakespearean, but it's certainly got some twists and turns. Including this one, where Yum Yum quits in the middle of the stress test, causing Russell to go full Mayday.
You just lost Yum Yum. Yum Yum's out.
But to make up for it, he just starts clapping. So, thank God someone knows what to do.
The only thing that all three cooks are doing consistently is making mistakes.
Oh man, I wonder if it's because you barely taught them shit. I literally saw a heated frozen chicken tender on the plate before. What happened to the rubs, man? We need the rub. The food looks pretty ass though. Like, I'm genuinely surprised it's coming out this bad considering they have JB back there. So the kitchen is not going well, but back at the bar, I'd probably argue the same, because in Yum Yum's absence, Scott's doing some bartending with a little side of alcohol withdrawal.
There you go. Scott, he's having withdrawals, he's shaking, he can't even hold that jigger straight. He's suffering from not drinking right now.
On Donna's end, she's run into these patrons that like to take shots with her, but she's not drinking and therefore is faced with quite the dilemma. The editing makes it dramatic as shit too. It's like, let's go! All in all, though, it really does seem like these people are redeeming themselves, and they end up wrapping up on a high note. So, god damn it, I think Act 4 is semi-completed. The next day, they begin to discuss concept, and by that, I mean turning the barbecue place into an actual barbecue place. So, Jon has gifted them a smoker, meaning we get to spend the next few minutes learning about smoking meats. It's actually kind of cool for once. Like, I didn't know that you're supposed to use different woods for different meats. I don't know, is that cool?
You gotta serve it at the key of perfection, so it's juicy, moist, and flavorful. We're simplifying the menu items.
Oh my god, that brisket looks dry as shit. Like, sorry, am I being overcritical here? That just does not look like any brisket that I've ever seen. Oh my god, like, look at this. Are these supposed to be baked beans? Where's the goo? Dude, this guy's supposed to be like one of the best barbecue chefs in America. Look at these ribs. This is like ordering just the rib cage.
I honestly never had any idea what a barbecue flavored food was opposed to a real barbecue. I'm very excited.
Hey man, look, I'm no expert, but I don't think you learned very much just now. He basically just showed you the food. JB Brown is a fucking loser. loser, man. The only thing he's taught them to do this entire episode is make a rub. Otherwise, he's just been yelling at them or showing them things. Over at the bar, Russell introduces the staff to this new cocktail idea that includes moonshine, which he, of course, proceeds to give an entire history lesson about. It's actually kind of cool, not gonna lie. First drink is the Firewater Punch. It has black cherry moonshine, lemon juice, honey syrup, black tea, and a lemon garnish. And it looks good, you know, it probably tastes all right, but my big problem with the cocktails on this show is they're all just too sweet, for me personally.
So I'm making a non-alcoholic cocktail so Scott and Donna can drink in their own bar.
Wow,
and also
that is, that's pretty backhanded, man. But the drink is fine, this one being called 17 Sweet Tea. 2 ounces of honey syrup, though, like, my God. At the end of the day, everyone is in super high spirits, and I don't know, the people seem genuinely happy for once. That is rare for this show. All right, I'm just gonna, I don't know. I'm just gonna let you watch what happens next, okay? Go ahead.
Today is all about Scott and Donna. I'm going to attack their alcoholism, and we're going to put them on a path of recovery.
Stop drinking! Did it work?
So yeah, he takes them in to meet with this addiction counselor, simply named Jerry, and as he'll have you know,
I'm in recovery myself.
And perhaps that was helpful for them to hear, because it seems like he gave some really good advice and they left very inspired. The point A to point B is insane, though. I mean, we got from here to here in like under 72 hours. But I think it's time to go ahead and take a look at that remodel, okay? You know, don't you think we deserve it after this episode? Okay, let's look at the thing.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
That is awesome.
God, man, don't get me wrong, it's fine, but Jon just has such bad taste. Jon's really proud of this new sign that he put up.
The next thing I did is I put in a whole new sign. That sucker is bright.
But honestly, it's really not. It's dim and kind of messy. The guy is ridiculously talented at sucking the soul out of things.
Refinished the back bar. Put a great cowboy quote across the top.
Yeah, you guys were asking for that, don't you remember? The cowboy quote? It's just a lot of Jon being like, hey, look at this. Now look at this. But after that, it's time for the grand reopening, which has a bit of a rocky start, but then it's not rocky. From all angles, the show does give us a happy ending, letting us know that sales have increased, but bankruptcy is still a threat. Given this threat, I decided to do a little research and see if this place is still open today. And look at that, celebrating 20 years, and they do weddings. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the episode. Yeah, that's it. Did you guys like the episode? Did you like this one? People were tagging me in this one on TikTok, I think, because the clip was going around for a while, so I don't know, I wanted to do it. Wow. Guys, as usual, if you enjoyed me talking about Jon Taffer and Bar Yescu, please like and comment and interact and subscribe and watch this dance. Watch this dance. You can't see my feet right now. And you know what? That's all I have for you this time. But until next time, dude. I just realized that I filmed that entire video with nothing on the screen. That's kind of fucked up. I wonder if it's going to ruin retention.